All right, so I'm not often excited about things like tripods, but what I've got is the all new Ulanzi JJ06 GlideGo tripod, and I think this is going to be the only tripod I need. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Desmond, and we are talking all about my brand new video tripod here from Ulanzi. This is the JJ06 GlideGo video tripod. Quite a mouthful, but what I will say is this thing is light, it's compact, and with its ball head and extendable arm feature, it's kind of an all-in-one studio and travel video tripod. So Ulanzi is the sponsor of this video. They sent this over to me a few weeks ago to test out and give them my point of view and thoughts and feedback. And whether this video was sponsored or not, I've been a customer and fan of Ulanzi for a really long time. I've got so many Ulanzi travel tripods. I've got their pocket tripods. I use a lot of their different accessories. So I've been a longtime fan, and I was really excited to get my hands on something pre-release, which is very cool. So I'm gonna put this down because the camera setup is a little bit heavy, but let's just chat about the tripod itself. So first of all, Ulanzi is gonna be releasing a couple of different tripods, a JJ05, which is more photo-centric, and this right here, the JJ06, because the ball head here is a lot more video-centric. You can see here we have pan motions. We've also got a tilt motion, so it's really smooth. I've got an FX3 on here with a Sirui 20mm anamorphic lens. I've got some additional little pieces like LiDAR for when I'm using cinema lenses with my DJI, but this thing can obviously handle a large setup. But ultimately, that's not what makes this tripod really special and why it makes it a perfect kind of one and done tripod for travel content creators, at home content creators. There's a few features in here that I'm going to show you that I use both in studio and when I am out. Before that, let's just cover some tech specs real quick. This thing is made out of aluminum and carbon fiber, which is why it is so light and compact. Overall weight, of course, without the camera is about 1.76 kilograms. That makes it really easy to carry and hold around. Let me just go ahead and pop this off. It's a very, very light tripod. Now, before we jump into some of the more exciting features, let's just talk about build quality and the standard features you would expect from a carbon fiber tripod like this. First of all, the design. This is definitely a bit of a departure from what I'm used to with all of my other Ulanzi tripods that I love and use. I actually really like the new kind of like logo. And on this, you can see we have a little sliding mechanism here. If I slide down, I can move my tripod legs into a much wider position, and I can click them into different places. So that's actually really quite nice. For the legs to come out, of course, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 positions here. Really quite easy and quite quick to kind of get that done. And then we, of course, have a cylindrical all carbon fiber center column here. Little twist, full extension like you would expect from most tripods. And then other technical specs, load capacity is about 18 kilograms. So, I mean, something like this is not gonna weigh this down. Now, in terms of quick release plates, it uses Ulanzi's new UKA or Yuka plate, but it also works with the Falcam 38 plate, which is amongst my favorites. So you can see here, I can easily swap between the Falcam as well as the Yuka. I've got these plates all over my different cameras. I actually really like that. This right here is my A7CR. This is my main photography hybrid travel camera, so we know it's gonna work perfectly well when we're out in the field. And then, like I mentioned, my Sony FX3, still the tried and true at-home studio camera for all things B-roll, talking head, anything and everything that I need. Now let's get to what sets this thing apart. So of course, we have our video ball head, 360-degree rotation, tilting, and any combination of the two. On top of that, we of course have our center column, which I showed you. You can extend it up to its maximum height, drop it down, and full rotation 360 degrees, ultra smooth. I'll tell you why this is really important in just a second when I show you this new feature. If you're anything like me, I do a lot of shooting in studio, or I'm looking for more creative shots. So this actually has a very cool toolless horizontal mode or overhead mode. I'm just gonna show you real quick. I'm gonna unlock this latch. You see the second stock come out, so I have an additional arm. And now there's a little knob right here. I'm gonna turn this, it's gonna loosen up the teeth, and we can now move this into a horizontal mode. This is really cool. And let's go ahead and just lock it off. I'm obviously behind the camera just to make sure everything is good, but we have my FX3. We've got a pretty heavy anamorphic lens on here. Let's just go ahead and adjust this right. But with a few adjustments using no tools at all, I have this in an overhead mode. And as you saw earlier, this is our panning adjustment. I can now make really smooth overhead panning shots. And the best thing about it is once you've unlocked all the different columns, well, now we have the ability to do really interesting and unique and ultra smooth shots. And that's what I really like about this so far, is because of this simple toolless mechanism here, I've got really impressive versatility in the types of shots that I can get with just a tripod. And that alone adds a lot to my content creation toolkit. It adds a lot to my home studio. I don't have to whip out the slider or any of like the motorized jibs and tools that I have. I can just use my ultra lightweight carbon fiber tripod here with a quick clicks and a few adjustments. I have a ton of versatility. So that's one of the things that I really like about this. I shoot a lot of product B-roll and videos in the office, so being able to set this up on a table, get some really solid overhead panning shots or detail shots. Also, if I'm filming anything talking head style, I can lock this off. And of course, I can move this into a vertical mode if I wanted to shoot anything extended out like this. But again, I think the whole point of this design is, one, it doesn't take up any additional space in the tripod when it's closed. The other thing is it adds a level of versatility and function that my other tripods have. Although they're great, other Ulanzi tripods, Peak Design tripods, I've got some cinema tripods, like a really big one from Sure. But because I travel so often, because I'm looking for something that is quick and light and easy to set up, this has become a game changer just because of this additional stock, right? It already has a lot of the features that I really enjoy. And I mean, the topic of tripods can only get so fun. They hold your camera up, but this additional piece here is awesome. And as you can see here, we have full articulation of this arm. So we can do some great underslung shots. You can extend the legs, get a lower vantage point. You can get any particular angle you need. And again, I misspoke a little bit earlier, because once you extend that secondary stock, you can see how high the tripod actually gets. So it is significantly taller than I am. I think it's maybe sitting close to 7.5 feet, 187 centimeters in full height, which is really quite impressive. Ultimately, the biggest thing too is just how quick this thing works. So I can flip it. I'm gonna go ahead and drop the arm in. I'll lock everything. I'm gonna drop this center column. We'll close this guy up. And then of course, kind of your standard locks. The thing that I do like about this is there's actually a spring mechanism in these little latches. So they do pop open really quite nicely. Seal everything up, close them all, and you're basically good to go. Little features for those of you out there that just enjoy secrets and some bells and whistles. I'm gonna unscrew the little arm here. We've got a screwdriver set. Sorry, I might have dropped these out of place, but they hold in place with little magnets. You can see here, let's give you a close-up. Here we go. A little screwdriver set goes right into the handle. All right, and that is the Ulanzi JJ06 GlideGo video tripod. I am a pretty big fan of this. Like I said, I've got all other types of Ulanzi tripods. I think this is the best hybrid. Brings together kind of all of my favorite features and functionality, plus that crazy kind of overhead hanging horizontal mode. And it's become a really great asset in studio and out. So I will leave links in the description below. Hit that like button, subscribe for more content just like this. I will catch you all in the next one.